Hi everybody, how you doing? It's June 22nd and the 18th marked 7 months since I had my first COVID symptoms. So I thought I'd do a video check-in and talk about how that's looking for me. Um, so when I first got COVID, Um, I was diagnosed positive November 25th, but it started out with a headache. That was my primary symptom, was a headache, a really intense headache that persisted and has continued to persist. I experience a headache of some level and some type almost nonstop and every single day. Um, in fact, this morning, typically it's behind my left eye most of the time now, but this morning I was having these weird tensions and pulling on the right side. And I'm like, what's up with that? Um, I have seen more specialists and will continue to see specialists because I have mostly central nervous system um, related symptoms. The headache, my vision, fatigue, forgetfulness, irritability, um, word finding at times. I did lose my sense of smell, but that returned for the most part, I believe. I haven't noticed it being too diminished, although I haven't been around any strong smells. Um, but, um, well, So, new diagnoses that I have received since having COVID 19 was, I believe it was in, gosh, when was it? November, December, January, February. Uh, I was just, I was so sick and I was having hypothermia and I was um, feeling so poorly. I couldn't eat. I do have periods of um, not being able to eat. I'm not hungry at all and actually feel nauseous thinking about eating. Um, I lose track of things easy. Anyway, I was diagnosed with ventricular migraines and with adrenal fatigue. Start and I At the beginning I started on the vitamins that were recommended, the ones that I was able to. I wasn't able to handle zinc. It makes me very sick. I also wasn't able to handle melatonin. It actually made me more awake. um, but I got on the other vitamins and supplements that were recommended and have been doing those pretty faithfully up until April, when a lot of things changed for me. Um, so then, yes, fast forward to the end of March and early April, and I went through some really significant stress. Some, you know, I, for like a week, it was really stressful because my dog and I were worried about getting injured by another dog that was around that was not behaving well, and no one was controlling it. And anyway, so that was a lot of fear and stress, and I ended up getting diverticulitis diagnosis um, towards the middle of or early in April, um, probably around the 10th, the 8th or the 10th. And I was really sick. I was down. I was in bed 100%. Well, I've not ever really rallied after that. I ended up moving the middle of April and came to a really nice place that's working well for me, that I'm safe and I'm dry and I'm comfortable in an RV with Lily and Shasta. So, I'm good. I am good. But literally, I have been so sick for 7 months that my days are pretty quiet. Um, this is it. I sit and watch a movie or scroll, you know, things that I'm interested in, social media, uh, go through old pictures, delete, delete, delete. I've got thousands. Um, but to be very honest, I have no energy. I am so depleted and I don't feel good. Every day there is something, whether it be, I have really bad diarrhea a couple times a week because my stomach has been horrible with the diverticulitis. Or recently I'm having, so I've, one of the things with the headache was I've had pain between my shoulder blades. It's been really, really bad. And I was getting acupuncture, but my insurance ran out. So I can't get that. And I'm too far from my doctor to get acupuncture on a regular basis. She does, or chiropractic manipulation. She does that. She does the activator method, but I'm too far away to have that routinely. So that was causing pain. That was causing like up in my jaw and in my shoulder and down my arm. And I was like, a lot of the symptoms I deal with, if many people, if they woke up and felt the way that I feel a lot of days, they would be in the emergency room going, fix this. But the truth is, with being a COVID long hauler, they don't know. I am not a candidate to take a bunch of medications and try medications. And basically, that's kind of, for a lot of this, they're guessing, and they're trying to treat the symptoms, and they're just throwing various types of meds at it that they think might work and seeing if it works for you. Well, I can't risk that because I have so many bad effects with medications that have really impacted me negatively in the past. And so I can't take medications just, well, let's try this, well, let's try that. And my doctor, fortunately, she knows that. She's like, you just have to wait. You just have to be as kind to yourself as possible, eat as healthy as you can, rest, get some fresh air. So, for those that have followed me through my whole benzo journey, I've been well prepped for this. I know how this goes. When the doctors don't know how to help you, there is no magic pill. And I just don't feel very well. I just don't feel very well. And I'll say it's been disheartening at times to be going through this again. To feel so flippin' crappy. Because last summer I was doing so good. I was like, all the years of waiting for the effects of being on pharmaceuticals for so long and coming off them, and all the post-acute withdrawal syndrome flare-ups that I had, and waves and windows, and things were doing really good. I had energy, my strength was there. Yes, I was still grieving. Yes, I was still having a few issues. I wasn't 100%, but I was doing well as far as physically. I was feeling pretty good last summer. And I'm not this year. I'm just not. I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all. So at least I'm in a place that I'm comfortable. I got it's a nice place. It's the biggest RV that I've been in ever. It's 33 feet. I've got a full walk around queen size bed. So that's really nice. And Shasta has a couch that she's on. Here, let me show you. there's Shasta right there. Anyway, I'll give you a little, and then that's the kitchen area, and then back there is the bedroom area. So, it's pretty cozy here, and I'm just trying to follow doctor's orders, and I'm just resting. But it's discouraging because I was really ready to travel. I had another real bad letdown with my RV. Ended up really not turning out well at all, and I need to sell it as is, and I haven't had the heart to even write, or the energy to compose an ad. I don't have the wherewithal to do that. And yeah, my life's really quiet, and I share, I take Shasta to the beach like once a week and take her for a walk, and might get together with a friend and do a meal. But those are highlights. Those are like highlights. Most of my day, I'm sitting here in this chair, watching movies or scrolling. I might take a little walk around the property or walk up the hill, 10, 15 minutes. I cook for myself. I try to feed myself, 2 or 3 times a day, get something nourishing in me, clean my messes up. I really try to get out of bed. I do spend some days, I spend all day in bed because I just have not felt well enough. And it's taking a toll on my psyche. I've been depressed. I've been depressed. It is what it is. Um, I'll be all right. It's not severe, but yeah, when you feel so bad for so long and you had all these dreams and hopes, it's like I wanted to get my business going and I have some other side gigs I want to do, but the reality is I just don't have the energy to do anything but fix myself good food, keep my environment comfortable for myself, and get a little fresh air and maybe socialize once a week. And that's all I really have. Hopefully it will build. I have a couple ideas of some things that I'd like to explore to maybe earn a little income, because my Social Security disability just really isn't enough to build with. And because of what happened to the lily pad, I need to build. Where I'm at, I'm okay, but this is not my RV. This is someone else's, on someone else's property. I essentially am homeless again. Without where I am, I would be in my truck. So I have to rebuild, which means I've got to find some side gigs. And so I'm going to, I've got my house sitting, is out there, but nobody has actually followed through with that. So we'll just see. But I can't do anything that requires that I have to clock in for sure every day, day after day, and long hours and be strong. And I can't do that. I can't. Not right now. Maybe someday, but not today. That Debbie, it's hard. It's hard for me because I've always, in fact, I went down to the beach with some lady friends for solstice, and we took food down there. Well, I had an ice chest, and then I had a great big huge skillet and a grill to grill on. And so I got a big bag and then the ice chest, and I'm hauling all this down this rocky thing. Well, I took it all down by myself. Well, I'm starting to haul it back up, and my friend, she's like, "Hold up, let me help you." And I was like, "Oh," and she's like, "Debbie, why don't you let people help you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just go barreling along in life thinking I have to do it by myself." So somebody was there and helped me, but I woke up hurting so bad yesterday morning. My shoulder and my neck were awful. It was just not comfortable, but it's a little better today. I'm really grateful for cannabis. Cannabis has helped with my COVID symptoms. If nothing else, it's helped me cope. Yesterday, the pain really was bad enough that I used a lot of cannabis, and that's, I'm for me, medicating with cannabis is more about checking in. I want to be, because when I was on a bunch of pharmaceuticals, I was all the time in bed, and I was, so sad all the time. I'm not like that, and I don't want to be like that. But when pain is really bad, when physical pain is really, really bad and you just have to have a break, man, cannabis really helps. I mean, I took a bunch of FICO and I smoked a bunch. And I laid in bed and zombied out and watched movies, and it got me through instead of laying here crying, miserable all by myself. I got through it. And so cannabis has been a blessing, a real blessing. Plants that heal are blessings. That's a blessing. Anyway, so I just thought I'd give you my real deal. Like, I haven't had a shower in 2 or 3 days. I probably will take one today, but often I won't take one for 2 or 3 days. That's a lot of energy to take a shower. Eating good, nutritious meals is my most highest focus. Having food here, and I have so many allergies, and then all these different conditions have their own diets, so it's been really hard. And then having diverticulitis on top of it, it's been a nightmare. And there are times I will have to tell you, I have just said, screw it, I'm gonna eat whatever I'm hungry for, because I feel like crap and I got nothing else in my life. I mean, I can go days on end and not see anybody and do anything and talk to anybody, and I'm just here with my dog and taking a stroll once or twice a day. And it can get hard. And so, I can't figure out what all is causing my intestinal upset. And so sometimes I'm just like, I'm going to eat whatever I want and have something that tastes good. So finding the little joys. I had gotten super, super thin right before I moved here, like super thin, thinnest I've been in well over a decade and a half. It kind of was shocking to me to see myself in a mirror. I've since put a few pounds back on. I don't plan on keeping this weight back on. I liked being at the other weight because I know that it's a good weight for me. I've been that slender before, but it came off so hard because of being so sick, and I just didn't feel good with that. And plus, I haven't been able to find anything to eat except a bunch of carbs right now. That's the only thing that's really not bothering me. So that's my update. 7 months since I got COVID. As a person in the pharmaceutical injury groups, that's already gone through a lot of trauma with medical trauma, and then to have this, it's been hard. And I am not getting the vaccine at this point. And I'm not going to really comment on that too much, just except to say that my doctor and I have looked at all the research and taking into consideration how my body reacts so badly with most medications, we've determined that the risk of taking the vaccine far outweighs the potential benefits, because I have had COVID and because I live such a quiet, sedentary life away from people, and I'm happy to wear a mask. So at this point, I'm not vaccinated. I don't intend to get vaccinated for probably at least a year, if not longer. I've just been too sick. I can't take another hit, physically or psychologically. I can't take another hit. So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's where it's at. Life with post-COVID syndrome. But I got Lily, and I got Shasta, and I got my cannabis. So I'm going to be all right. This is not fun all the time. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for watching. Peace, y'all.